Hi everyone! So farmer's market haul looks a little different today. We're not in my kitchen. When I do my farmer's market haul, 100% of the time there is produce from Sunrise Organics, which is my very favorite farm because it's regenerative, organic of course, and now we are actually here. So we're coming full circle. Sam?
Thank you so much for being here. We've been a fan of you for a really long time. She's been shouting us out for what feels like years now. So we're blessed to have you. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm very feeling blessed and humbled to be here. And today we are going to make a meal here on the farm that's going to be delicious. And I'm so excited because we are in the height of tomato season. And my very favorite thing to do with tomatoes is make my gazpacho. And it's a real treat for me because I will only make it in the summertime when tomatoes are their ripest, because you know that I believe adamantly that the best ingredients leads to the best food and also the best food for you.
Absolutely. So, I don't even like tomatoes, but I'll eat ours. Seriously.
I am going to get you to like this gazpacho, whether or not you like
No, I mean, like, I love ours, but outside of that, they just taste, you know, there's no comparison.
Yeah.
Eating seasonally is the best. The best for you, the best taste-wise, absolutely, 100%.
Growing up, I thought I didn't like tomatoes because, of course, you know, my mother would get tomatoes at the supermarket. Those taste like nothing.
Yeah, we don't even call those tomatoes. Those are tomato lookalikes.
Right. And even though I buy things from the farmer's market and I see farmer's market stands that have tomatoes year round, I know that it's not tomato season.
Right.
I know they're grown in a greenhouse probably.
Greenhouse and in an area that, you know, is climate-wise perfect for that, which is hard to find. I mean, Santa Barbara is one of the most beautiful places you can farm, and even ours in the winter. You know, if you have any freeze at all, they just won't last. So now's the time. We're literally just in the start of picking ours. This is actually what we're in right now. These are all tomatoes. We've got some heirlooms over there, some beefsteaks here, and some Romas over there. So let's go take a look and we'll pick some.
All right, right. We're gonna have a tomato feast.
Perfect. So it looks like this little guy, big guy,
of red.
Right down there. Yeah, that's what you're looking for, color.
Ooh, jackpot. Oh my God, it's huge.
Beautiful.
I actually kind of like it when I see these little vines. I feel like they're fun to play with.
Totally.
You know?
People always ask if there's something wrong with them. I'm like, no, it's just real organic produce.
I know. How do you know? Because, you know, there's like, this is a really heavy tomato.
Totally.
And how do you know when it's like, you should pick it right at that moment or you should let it go another day? Because it's a fine line.
So something like this one here, for example, this has still got some color. You know, you can see comparatively to the green here. It's definitely more ripe. But this would be something we'd pick for wholesale. There is a little bit of green on it still, so you're going to have a couple days just in transport to ripen. Still will taste great when it gets to its destination, but this one here, it's going to be at the height of its sugar content, the height of its acidity. It's going to be super balanced and just ready to go.
I'm so excited for this tomato right here. Let me feel this one. So I have a question. Let me ask you this, because when I was picking these, one of the ways that I was deciding whether or not to pick it was I would kind of twist it a little bit, and if it fell off, then I felt like it was meant for me.
Totally.
But is that a good way to think about it? Or,
yeah,
you know?
Absolutely. I mean, nature is intelligent. You know, it's they know when they're ready. These guys are going to be holding on a lot harder than these. You know, and also as it gets heavier, the more it ripens, the more the sugar takes over. You know, it legitimately gets heavier. Like you said, this really ripe heirloom there, you can feel the weight on that. So naturally, it's just going to come off when it's ready to go. The plant's made peace with it, and it's ready for you to have it.
Can I do an experiment here with this one? Let's see. Okay, I'm not going to pick that one because I did 2 twists and it didn't let it go, so it's not right.
That's a great test. I like it. You're hired. The intuitive tomato picker. I like it.
Hey, I like that. Let's register that one.
Perfect. So we got the tomatoes. What else? What else did you need today?
So we're going to do a tortilla española, and traditionally it's done with potatoes, but we're going to change it up a little bit, and it's going to be just as good, if not even better. Do you have something I could sub, like broccoli, cauliflower?
Absolutely, yeah, that's actually right next door.
Let's do that, and then we're going to make a very simple farm green salad, super easy.
Amazing.
So how do you know when a cauliflower is ready to pick?
So these guys are a real labor of love because you have to go through and make sure that the leaves are covering. Sometimes we'll even rubber band them.
Oh.
Even if the bugs don't get to them, if it gets sun exposure, it turns yellow. And people just, aren't into that, even though it's perfectly good. So this one here was protecting itself beautifully. So you just kind of walk through, you'll see some of them are real small, you're like, okay, I'll give that one some time. The bigger it gets, the more bugs it's going to attract. So typically like your medium size, just open up the leaves there, and then you're just gonna cut it right out. Ideally you'd have a big old knife, but
you got it. Thank you.
Yeah, totally. It was ready. It meant to be yours.
Look at how beautiful.
So unfortunately I have to go, but it was really good meeting you. Like I said, we've been a fan of you for a really long time. She's legit, guys. We endorse her 100%, and I don't say that about a lot of people. So thank you for spreading the word, for talking about agriculture, the importance of good food. It's something that needs to be talked about more, and we appreciate it. And thank you for coming out. You're welcome anytime.
Absolutely. I really appreciate what you do. Thank you for harvesting our ingredients for this beautiful meal we're going to have. I'm so sorry you can't make it, but we're going to have to do it again then.
I'm sure I'll hear about how good it is from everybody else.
All right, then let's get to cooking.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam. Check out my kitchen. How fun is this? All right, so you guys know that part of having an enjoyable experience in the kitchen, part of knowing how to cook well, effectively, is making a good use of time. So we are going to start with roasting the vegetables for the Tortilla Española in the pan, so those could get going, and then we're gonna move to the Gazpacho, which is so fast and easy to make, and it's so delicious. Have I said that enough times? And then we're gonna do the salad, the dressing, just while the tortilla's cooking up. All right, so you're gonna see it all happen right here. So I'm gonna heat up the cast iron first. I'm gonna be using my extra virgin olive oil from my friend's Uncle Birch. This is the finest olive oil you can get in California. Arabosana olive oil, Spanish variety, olives grown locally in California, dark bottle. That's what we want to see. All right, so let's fire up the cast iron first. So while this is heating up, because I've told you, you heat your pan first, then you heat your oil, then you add your vegetables. So that's heating up. I'm going to start chopping. So I'm going to start with these beautiful torpedo onions. You can use any onions you want, but this is what we've got, and this is what we're going to use, and it's going to be delicious. Let me unwrap these, and I'm just going to slice these down, just like that. Again, I'm kind of treating these a little bit like they're leeks. It doesn't really matter if some of them get chopped smaller than others. This dish is very forgiving. All right, so let's add our olive oil. And again, you want to use the best quality olive oil you could get your hands on, especially when you're cooking, because the higher the quality olive oil, the higher the polyphenol count in the olive oil, and that high polyphenol count is going to protect the oil from oxidizing, just like it would protect your skin from oxidizing. Hello, it all comes back. All right, so now we're gonna let this heat up, and you wanna use a generous amount of olive oil. Don't be afraid. And now while that's heating up, I'm gonna do my cauliflower. So, you know how sometimes you chop a cauliflower and it makes a giant mess in your kitchen? I'm gonna show you a trick. This is how you properly chop a cauliflower. I'm just gonna cut off this little end right here where the leaves are. Just simply cut it in half. It almost doesn't even require a knife. Just give it a little split. And now check this out. Boom, boom, boom. No mess of florets at all. You can cut it as small as you want. And for these purposes, since I want them to be in bite-sized pieces, I think I'll probably will start using my knife and just giving things a little bit of a chop like that. And this is such a small pan, I probably don't even need to use the entire cauliflower. So let's start with this amount of cauliflower, bite-sized pieces. And cauliflower takes, it's gonna take a little bit more time to cook as well. So I think what I will do, even though I normally start with the onions, I think I'm gonna start with the cauliflower, let it get a head start, and then add the onions in, because you see these are really thin slices, so it might take a little bit more time. Let's see how this fills up the pan, and then we'll go from there. I think I want this. I'm just going to improvise here, and if I see some pieces that look a little bigger than I would like, I'm just going to give them a little crumble right there. Because, you know, the smaller the pieces are, the faster it'll cook. There we go. Good. All right, let's give this a stir. All right, like I said, those are gonna get a little bit of a head start because that's gonna take a little longer to cook than the onions. All right, let's continue. I'm gonna push these onions over to the side until we're ready to add those in. All right, my favorite part, the gazpacho. And like I've said, the best ingredients make the best food. So let's use the very best of these, and we don't need to use a lot. I am going to just take the stem off, especially these smaller ones. Maybe give them, just give it a cut. Just take off that white. Throw that in there. Throw that in there. The funny thing about gazpacho is a lot of people think they don't like it. And the people who think they don't like it, I'm willing to bet, have had a gazpacho that tastes more like salsa and is more of the texture of salsa than what a true gazpacho is. So, like I mentioned, you want a lot of olive oil in this gazpacho. So we are going to use a lot of olive oil. And you will get a recipe, but here, you are not going to see me follow a recipe. I am just simply going to eyeball this, and the best way to learn to cook is by experimentation and taste. These peppers, which I roasted yesterday, remove the skins from, and it's so important, in my opinion, to use roasted peppers, because not only does it removing the skin and the seeds, remove any inflammatory elements of the bell peppers, but it also makes them so much richer in color, so much more flavorful. Definitely take this step. Let's pour it all in there, get all that stuff in there. The liquid from it, everything. And now another thing I do differently from what many people do in their gazpacho is I do a garlic confit. Garlic confit will remove any bitterness that is contained in garlic, and it makes it a little sweeter. And again, the olive oil. I love to use, I wish you could smell this olive oil, this garlic confit right now. So let's do about this much garlic. And I think I'll do one more tomato. Why not? How could you not use tomatoes that look like this? And then here's another magic ingredient that you need in your gazpacho. You could substitute red wine vinegar or even a white wine vinegar, but if you want it to be authentic, you gotta use vinagre de Jerez. This is sherry vinegar. You can find it in the market, you just gotta look for it. This one specifically I got in the gourmet market. So I'll do just a dash of this. You wanna be a little careful with it because it could really give it a bite. So I start with just a little splash, and then I taste for acidity once it's blended up. And if it needs more, then we adjust. And of course, we need salt. So let's start with about a teaspoon. And again, we will reassess once it's all blended. All right, you see how simple that is? Oh, and freshly ground pepper. I ground this at home. I'm just gonna do a little tiny bit. Let's cover that up. Just gonna give it a little push here. Oh, I can't forget a crucial thing, Spanish saffron. There was Spanish saffron in the garlic confit, but in my opinion, you can never have too much saffron. Pick a little pinch of some threads. Again, this smells so good. Let's cover that up. Blend it up again. So look at this. Look at the color. It looks like there's cream in there. There's no cream. There's no bread. This is pure emulsification from the olive oil. So let's give it a try. See if we need to add more vinegar, add more salt. This is the best part in my opinion. I've got lots of spoons here, but I'm going to show you a little trick. If you don't want to dirty a million spoons, you go like this. You put what you're tasting on the back of your hand and you give it a lick. It's so good, but I think it could use a touch more salt. Maybe like that. Let's try. And the nice thing is, if I feel like this got over salted, I've got more tomatoes, I've got more olive oil, I've got more vinegar, it could be corrected. And even though we're gonna enjoy this tonight, tomorrow, it's gonna be next level. So this is such a wonderful summer soup that you can make ahead of time and enjoy it with friends days later, and it just gets better. I love the color of this cauliflower. Let's try it. That is gonna be good. Okay. Eggs. You're gonna use 6 eggs, but it really doesn't matter. You can use 5, you can use 7, you can use 4, but I think 6 will be a nice number to fill this bowl up nicely and also satiate us in our meal. Now sometimes I salt the eggs. Today I'm not going to because that's pretty salty, so I'm just gonna let it be and just let the salt from the vegetables do the work of the seasoning. See those, how you can see the little bubbles? That's good. All right, I'm just gonna touch this cauliflower to see it. Yeah, this cooled down pretty quickly. So this cooled down pretty quickly because we're outside and it's getting a little cool. So I am going to now add these vegetables into this bowl. And we're going to stir it to combine. All right, and now we're going to reheat this, adding a little more olive oil. We really want the pan to be lubricated well because we're going to eventually flip this and we want it to fall out really easily and have like a really beautiful result. And it's already pretty warm, so I'm gonna just add my oil back in. And again, we're gonna make sure we have enough so that the tortilla easily falls out when we flip it. This career that I have now has been so organic for me because long time ago I read that flow is where your skill and your passion intersect, and this is truly what this is. I have been a passionate and, because of that passion, skillful cook for a very long time, and I'm very passionate about teaching people how to cook well for themselves in a way that brings them to optimal health, feeling great, looking great from the inside out. And to me, this is just so fulfilling. I never expected this to become a career. This was just me having some fun and showing my friends what I was cooking for dinner every night with my 3 preschool-age children, just trying to survive at home. And it just took off from there, and it's been nothing less of wonderful for me, and just a pleasure. So you see, I'm gonna add this all in right now. Now the egg mixture with the cauliflower and the torpedo onions is kind of like swimming in the olive oil, but in a moment that's going to solidify. And again, we're going to use this little pan to kind of help get it going along the way. So we're just going to let that hang out. I've got the heat on, I think it's about medium. Use your instinct, and you see right here on the edge, I can see that it's starting to solidify. The eggs are starting to cook. That's what we want to see. I'm just going to turn this because I can see from that it's getting more heat on this side, probably because of the wind. So I'm going to just keep an eye on that and turn it every so often so that this cooks evenly. This took a couple minutes. All right. Now that I can see that I've got like a cooked edge pretty much around the perimeter of this, I'm just going to put the lid on it, help it solidify along the way. And let's use our time properly. Let's make the salad dressing first, then we'll do the salad. Maybe have a glass of wine, I don't know. So when I do a salad dressing, everybody has a different ratio of acidity to fat. And when I talk fat, of course, I'm speaking olive oil. You can also use avocado oil. Some people do that. In my opinion, olive oil is the best thing to use for a salad dressing. So my acid is going to be, in this case, these lemons. I'm going to give it a roll to kind of loosen up those juices, get it going. So I am going to use double the amount of olive oil to the acid that I'm using, which in this case is a lemon. And let me just squeeze some lemon in here, and I'm turning this, holding this upside down just so that any seeds that are likely to fall out don't. And a lot of times I like to use 2 kinds of acids in my salad dressings, a vinegar and a lemon juice, and it doesn't matter the ratios. But what happens when you use 2 types of acids, the vinegar and the citrus, is it touches on all corners of the mouth. Citrus is registered in the front of the mouth, front palate. Vinegar is registered in the back of the mouth. So you get this full body taste of the salad dressing that makes it like, people always say to me, why is this so good? What'd you do? What'd you do? What are the ratios? And the ratios are very simple. They change all the time as far as how much vinegar versus how much citrus, but what they're tasting is that full body flavor that you get from using 2 types of acids. So let's do just a little splash of the sherry vinegar, vinagre de Jerez. You don't need a lot. All you need is a little taste to get that full body flavor. And I don't like to use too much sherry vinegar because it's very, very pungent. Some people like that. For salad dressing, I think I like to keep it a little softer. I like the lemony taste. So I'm just going to guesstimate about almost double. There we go. And then, of course, our salt. So let's start with this. If you're not sure on salt, start with less, taste it, reassess. And where is that pepper? A little pinch of pepper. And again, the emulsification. A lot of people use mustard to help emulsify. You can totally do that, but it's actually not necessary. All you need is a whisk. We don't have to dress it right away because we don't want to wilt the lettuce, but let's do it. Let's use these beautiful torpedo onions and of course our lettuce and make a salad. Let me just clean out this bowl. All right, here we go. So I cut off the bottom stem. I love the shape of these, but they're not really bite-sized. Let's see. There we go. And let's do some onions. I'm just gonna kind of do a little press them as I add them to the salad so that no one gets a whole mouthful of onion. It'll be nice little rings, like onion rings, but not fried. Let's see. Definitely need more onions, definitely. How about I do this? There we go. That way we could easily remove that skin. I'm hearing the tortilla talk to me, so let me take a look at it. Ooh, it's looking good. All right. It's really smelling good. You've got to use all your senses when you're cooking. Your sense of smell, obviously, but also your ears too. You hear things sizzle, you take a look, you see how things are going. I love to add herbs to my salads as well, as it gives them really good flavor, really great texture. So I always add whatever herbs I have on hand. Soft herbs like parsley, I add mint to them sometimes, cilantro, whatever I've got, I add in. There we go. Now, it's tempting to want to add the tomatoes, but I want to eat these tomatoes on their own because, hello, I don't want to, I feel like this tomato needs to be eaten alone, and I really want to try it right now. May I? All right, I'm gonna give it a slice. Oh my God, look at this. Let me add a little bit of salt. And this wasn't planned in the meal to have straight up tomatoes, but we're gonna have straight up tomatoes with a little bit of Maldon, flaky sea salt, some olive oil. Right now I'm just gonna try it like this. Oh my God, it's so good. If a tomato could be an orgasm, this would be this would be it. Yum. So good. All right, let's check on that tortilla. I think it's almost done. It's gonna be my little cheat. This is just a cake tester. Nope, not done yet. Almost, we're getting there. We are getting there. So you want, just like a cake, you want it to be solid when it comes out. Let me raise the heat just a little bit. I'm gonna turn the pan. And then that's gonna be it. I picked up this wine on the way, this Grenache from Sunstone. It's an organic winery. So let's open it up. This is just a nice Grenache. So fun to cook with wine, right? And we'll enjoy more of this at our dinner. That's delicious. Okay, let's plate up these tomatoes that really need no accompaniment. This one tomato is like a meal in and of itself. I'm just gonna arrange it right here. So gorgeous. There's nothing like eating an heirloom tomato at the height of its season. And I usually just let the tomato tell me which way to cut it. And then these little pieces, I enjoy for myself. Let's do a little olive oil, of course. And a little flaky sea salt. That'll really bring out all the flavors of this beautiful heirloom. And look at that. Gorgeous. This right here came from my grandmother's kitchen. This says para volver la tortilla, because when the tortilla is done, you flip it, and hopefully it all comes out in one piece, and hopefully it's all beautiful, and you serve it right here. And you see there's a special handle so that you can flip it properly. So we'll be doing that. Let's take a look. Oh, it's looking good, you guys. It's looking good. And dress the salad. Just give it a quick little whisk. And you see how this maintained its emulsification? Did not separate at all because we whisked it properly. That's all it needed. And I always like to finish my salads with a little pinch of flaky sea salt. Gives it just a nice little crunch. That's a good salad. I will go up against anybody that says a salad is boring. You think a salad is boring? You don't know how to make a salad. I will teach you. This is delicious. So refreshing. All right. We are good. We are good to go. Let me turn this off. Our tortilla is ready. It's nice and solid. We're gonna give this a flip. Hopefully it all works out. Let's go. We did it. It's a little done on the top, but you know what? We did our best. Outdoor kitchen, it's still gonna be delicious. All right, here's our tortilla. I don't have a fork on me right now, so I'm just gonna give it a try like this. Pretty damn good. All right, let's plate this meal up. Let's see. Let me do an heirloom, and some salad, tortilla, and of course, some gazpacho. Woo! Quite a bit, but it's good. All right, who wants to try?
I will.
David!
Let's try this.
So, David and I went to elementary school together.
Yes, we did.
And now here we are back. How many years later?
I don't even know.
25, 30?
Something like that. It's been a while.
It's been a while. Class of 95.
Well, I haven't seen her since 8th grade.
San
Put it
Gabriel
that way.
Mission. Since 8th grade graduation, this is the first time we're seeing each
What should
other.
I try first?
Go, do the gazpacho.
Should I drink it or?
Drink it.
Okay.
Drink it.
Mmm.
You like it?
Good.
Is it good? Does
I
it?
know you guys are jealous.
I'm gonna have some with
That's
you.
so good.
I'm gonna have some with you. Let me see.
Let's try salad.
I think you need some wine too.
Mmm.
What do you think?
Tastes so fresh.
That
Plus, it
lettuce
tastes
is amazing,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So crispy.
Mmm.
I've been staring at these tomatoes.
I
all
know.
day.
Tomatoes are the star of the show here.
It doesn't even need anything on it.
I know.
Tomatoes.
It's so good. I gotta make myself a plate too. What am I thinking?
My first Spanish tortilla. Here we go. Oh wow.
Into it?
So simple.
So simple.
And so good.
So good, right? Doesn't take much. All you need is the best stuff. That's
So
it. That's it. Here we go. Eating at the farm.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for cooking.
Thanks for filming.
Of course.
Thank you, Sunrise. Thank you, Farmfluence. You guys follow Cook with Anais for the recipes, for the tips, for more good stuff. Grateful here.